Several NGOs have suspended their operations in Afghanistan in response to a ban by the provisional Taliban government on participation by women. Humanitarian organisations such as the Red Cross say the move will cripple its efforts in the country, as a third of its employees are female.
Yet another blow to women's rights in Afghanistan, this time targeting aid workers. NGOs across the country have been ordered to stop their female employees from coming to work with immediate effect, being warned that non-compliance will result in having their licenses revoked. It's a decision taken, according to the Taliban, in response to violations of the group's so-called Islamic values. But the move has sparked widespread international condemnation. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken tweeting that he is deeply concerned and warning that the decision could disrupt vital life-saving assistance to millions in Afghanistan. Taliban officials, however, were quick to respond, telling the US not to interfere in Afghanistan's internal affairs. Now, a number of aid groups say they are suspending their operations in the country, with outreach made near impossible without female aid workers.
We need our female colleagues to help us get access to women and children, because you can't access young mothers or young children in education if you don't have female staff, because as you may know, that culturally that's not appropriate in Afghanistan to have all male staff dealing with young women or children.
Since the Taliban's takeover in August of last year, the rights and freedoms of women and girls have been eroded on multiple fronts. Just in the last week, the Taliban announced the suspension of university education for all women, just months after enforcing a total shutdown of secondary schools for girls across the country. And now there are fears there could soon be a total ban on elementary school education too.
They still are the 90s Taliban, and they still think that women should be only limited to homes, and that's what they're doing right now.
The stakes here are extremely high, with the country already facing a crippling economic crisis. According to Afghan Aid, one of several NGOs now forced to suspend its operations in the country, a staggering 28.3 million people in Afghanistan will likely require humanitarian aid in 2023. But this latest edict could push families even further into poverty, leaving much of the Afghan population in a state of acute vulnerability this winter.
It's cold, it's freezing, people are hungry, people are without shelter. That's why we are there to help them with female and male employees. So when they tell us to take away 1/3 of our able, committed humanitarian workers, we cannot operate.
The UN says it has called directly on the Taliban to reverse the ban on female NGO workers. But hope in Afghanistan is dwindling as the Taliban continues to chip away at the rights and freedoms hard won by women over the last 2 decades.